Okay, so on video 2, what we're going to go through right here, this is what you use to check your fuel. So that's going to be your fuel gauge right here, right next to the radius. Whenever you fill it all the way up or have it all the way empty, it's all going to be one color. So it's actually empty right now, but I'll fill it up before I bring it out. But just to give you a heads up, that's where you check your fuel at. Park brake right here, we went through that already. So then, I mean, once again, it's going to keep it from locking up and all that stuff. Jumping up here back on the seat. So this over here is actually going to be probably the most important stuff that we're messing with, is up here on the side. So we have our PTO, we have our key, throttle, or throttles right here, and our choke. And then these are all of our safety sensors and whatnot there. So what we do to get it to start is we'll bring up here on our choke. We'll usually choke it. Choke just means you let in a lot of fuel and not a whole lot of air. Just think, just like starting a fire, you want more gas than air in there. And then your throttle, you basically pull this back on your choke and then you bring up on your throttle. Excuse me. One thing to note is that whenever you're mowing grass, whenever you're running it, it doesn't matter how fast you go with your handles, but what does matter is once you get used to it, once you get like put 5 or 10 hours on it or so or whatever, what you want to make sure you do is run it up here where it clicks in. It's going to rev that engine all the way up, and that's where the mower is actually designed to run. It's not designed to run half throttle or at low throttle whenever it's cutting grass. You really have to have it full throttle up here, and then you control your speed, your ground speed, with your handles right here. First couple of times mowing, if you pull back on that, you're just still kind of getting used to it. That's no problem at all, and I mean, just driving it around. If you don't have the mower deck on, if you do not have the mower deck on, you can drive it around in idle. That's totally fine for it. Just for mowing, you always just want to have it full throttle. Otherwise, you run into belts breaking, things like that. Just kind of weird problems, I like to say. Anyway, moving on here. I'm not going to start the mower right off the bat, but what I am going to do is show you what these gauges and stuff like that mean. So right here is obviously our key. Pops right out. Plug it right in there. So we have, just like you're in your car, you got your off, your on, and then your turn over. So just start it right there. So pull it over here to the on position, and what we got is like a safety panel. And then this safety panel, what it does is it tells us our hours, and then it also tells us these 4 boxes are all check boxes. So what I'm going to do is so right here is our PTO, park brake, neutral, and sitting on the seat. So I'm sitting on the seat, so that check marks off. The arms are neutral, so watch whenever I bring that arm out, it's no longer in neutral, so it won't start. It's not going to let you start until you bring this arm back. Same with this PTO. Watch what happens, or whenever you turn on the blade, you're not supposed to have that on, so it's not going to let you start the machine. So you got to have all of these check marks boxed. You have to have all the checks boxed, have all the boxes checked for it to run right. So if you were to not sit on the seat like I'm doing now, not sitting on it, it's not showing the seat anyway. So just something to keep in mind. Coming up here, arms, you go forward with both of them, kind of keep them together like that, and then just kind of go from there, and then pull them back. You want to start with them in neutral, that kind of a thing. Anyway, so once you have your mower in the on position and started, and you got all your check marks, you can go ahead and turn it on like I just did. It'll turn on the engine, and you usually start it at an idle. So have your throttle pulled back here, just kind of have this up and your choke up. Pull your choke back and then throttle it up like that once you got your engine started. And that's how you start and stop your mower. So you always want it kind of idling. You always want to bring this red back whenever you're starting it and whenever you're stopping the machine. Anyway, once you have it started though, what you'll do is start it. You'll be driving it around. Remember, we got to take our park brake off before we bring our handles in. So park brake goes off, handles come in, and then once our handles are in and our park brake's off and our machine is running, that's whenever we can pop on our blades. So this is what's actually going to turn on our blades. So you really want to make sure that your feet, nobody's feet are underneath there, anything like that, because those blades spin pretty fast. So right now, if the machine was on, if the engine was running, your blades would be turning. So they're off, these blades aren't turning, pull this up, they are turning. And then you're right now, in theory, if I had the mower on and running, you'd be driving back and forth, you'd be cutting grass right now. So that's what we got going on here. Coming over here to the side, so we explained this piece, but this is actually your open and close on your discharge. So what this does is pull it down, you open it, let's see here, yep, you open it and then pull it up and you close it. So this is gonna kind of keep you from throwing rocks into anything and everything like that. So just to show you how it works up here. So we got this piece, got the handle up, pushing the handle down, now it's closed, handle's up, that's up, handle's down, and that's down. Kind of a neat little thing. So I'll leave it up like that for now, and I'll let you kind of play with it and see how it does. They also give you a little 12-volt charging thing right here. No big deal there. That's about all I can think of as far as the front of the mower. And as far as driving it, you might give me a call if that doesn't help, if you're still got questions on it, on that part of it. One thing I would recommend is if you got a lot of trees, or not a lot of trees, you got a lot of hills, I would recommend wearing the seat belt and keeping this up. Keeping that roll bar up is kind of a good and bad thing. It really helps you with the seat belt if you're mowing really steep hills or something like that. You do got to watch it though, because it will catch branches, and those branches do kind of swing back and might get you. So if you're going around a lot of trees and stuff like that, may not hurt to put it down, but you want to make sure. They say legally you have to mow with it up, but it's just something to kind of watch for. So something to kind of play with. You really just got to be mindful of where you're at and what you're doing for the most part. But they do say legally they want you mowing with that roll bar up and your seatbelt on. Coming back here, I don't know if you're interested in the maintenance or anything like that, but right here is going to be your hydraulic oil. Just as long as you can see it up to this line, you're good to go, and you just fill it up there. But honestly, you shouldn't have to worry about it. This thing's under warranty for a really long time. If that belt ever comes off and you guys feel like putting the belt on yourself, there's a guide to the belt underneath here. Underneath here is your engine oil drain. So what you'll do is you'll snake this out, and that'll drain out the oil. Here's your oil filter, gives you plenty of room to do that. And then here's your dipstick to check it. So you just unscrew this, pull it out like that, and then you check your oil, put it back in there. It's all good to go. Air filter's right here, and then your battery's right here, real easy to get to. To fill it up with fuel, it's right here. And the as you can see, that's what they tell you, that no E85 stuff. And they just say just fill it up. Cup holder, everything like that. I think that's about everything as far as operating it and whatnot. I hope to have it to you here this evening yet still, but that's kind of what we're looking at there. I think that's about everything worth showing you. If you ever want to get on this deck, you just got to pull this piece back like that and just kind of watch it. Make sure just don't get your fingers in here if you're trying to pull out this plastic thing, because it will kind of get you. But yeah, other than that, I don't think I have anything else for you. And I would say just give me a call if you have any questions. But we have everything here and don't mind helping at all. Once again, thank you so much.